Donkey Kong, bitch.
That's right. Broncos are in the playoffs. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, it's so exciting here in Colorado. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. A lot to get into. Yes, we'll get into the Broncos making it into the playoffs. At least they didn't go backdoor. You know what I mean? Listen, sometimes backdoor can be fine, okay? But there's usually a lot of, hidden feelings afterwards. They didn't do that. They went in the front door. They earned it, and they beat the Chiefs. We'll get into that whole situation. Yes, it's a little bit tainted, but that being said, who fucking cares? We'll dissect that coming up. Plus, we got some great headlines to get into, as well as reaction from something I talked about last week that I think is confusing some dumb people. Okay? Not you. Some other people. They don't know what words mean. And apparently we got to educate them today on the program. But real quick, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Go ahead and hit the like button on this episode as well. And remember, today's show is brought to you by Kirkwall Group, as well as Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. They got the earliest odds to in-game live betting. And Bet Online provides all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. Sorry, forgot to put a comma in there. Okay, not me. I had to correct somebody's grammar, and I forgot to do it. Anyway. They got the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL to UFC. Go ahead and make your way to betonline.ag right now. Don't forget to use promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. Smooth as butter. Yeah. Speaking of smooth as butter, let's do it. Let's jump into some headlines.
Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Woo! All this butter talk's got me hot. I'm sorry. I know. Thinking about getting greased up later. Anyway, that's after the show. I'm going to read from an article, okay? And there's a lot of miscellaneous information in here, and that's just really going to kind of paint the picture. A business class passenger had to be banned from all United Airlines flights after he urinated on a sleeping fellow traveler during a long-haul journey from San Francisco to Manila, Philippines. Now, I will say this real quick. Side note, they never say it's a gentleman that peed. There's a small chance a lady peed on somebody else, which would have been fascinating to see. That's a lot more effort. Am I right, ladies? That's a lot more effort than a dude peeing on somebody. Just saying, I'm going to go and assume that it was a gentleman that urinated on somebody else. Okay, anyway, back to the story. The incident occurred on December 27th when Jerome Gutierrez from Hillsborough, California, was asleep in his business class seat during what was meant to be a 15-hour flight. Gutierrez woke up to find himself soaked from the stomach down in another man's urine. I got to be honest, that's a poor way to wake up. I've woken up cranky over just sleeping a little too long. Maybe it's dark out and it was light out when I started my nap, and just the change in light outside kind of irritated me. I can only imagine what it's like to wake up soaked in somebody else's urine, let alone your own urine, but somebody else's, that's, not a good idea. So I can understand why Gutierrez was upset. Flight attendants provided, this is the silver lining. Yes, the guy got in trouble. They kept him separated because they didn't want Gutierrez to get in an altercation with the urinator. Okay, if he was a villain, that's what his name would be, is the urinator. They kept him separated for the rest of the flight. He's been, I assume, arrested, but he's been banned. Good job, United Airlines. You banned him for the rest of his life, I'm assuming. They just say banned from all flights. But I'm guessing, you're stuck with what is it, Frontier? Good luck getting anywhere now safely. They don't. It's not like they crash. It's just not going to be comfortable. Let's just say that. But here's the silver lining in all this. If you get urinated on a flight, especially United, apparently you can get a bonus out of it. Flight attendants provided Gutierrez with pajamas to change into after the incident. Well, there we go. Silver lining, folks. If somebody takes a whiz on you while you're in a flight, guess what? You get some free pajamas. Just saying. Maybe you forgot to pack pajamas. And then you got your row mate next to you be like, oh my gosh, I am so embarrassed. What's going on? What's going on, new person I've never met before? I'm in a pinch. I forgot to pack pajamas. Could you do me a favor? Sure, I guess. Good. Pee on me. I'm sorry, what now? Pee on me, please, sir. I forgot my pajamas, and I figured this is the only way out of my just moronic, mind slip. You got it. You got it, person I just met. This is disgusting. I applaud United Airlines for this move. You got to ban them. And to be honest, we've said this before. Put them on a no-fly list. Okay? You want to go because he was going from the U.S. to the Philippines. If you want to go back to the U.S., guess what you have to do? Take a boat. Okay? It's not going to be as fast. But you'll get there. Just can't get on a plane because you're on the no-fly list. That's what needs to happen. You want this stuff to stop? That's what you got to do. Be a little bit more strict on these things. Now, that being said, he's an unsung hero because he gave somebody free pajamas. So gross. So gross. I just don't understand. I mean, there had to have been a point when that guy went to go pee on him where he's waiting for the urine to come out and he's just like, this is what needs to happen at this moment in my life. Right? You know what I mean? Man. Hey, Mom, why can't Dad come visit us? Since the divorce, clearly. Probably because he's on the no-fly list. What do you mean? What did he do? Well, he decided to urinate on other passengers. Classic dad. Man. In the article, too, they're like, the guy the urinator, they said something to the effect, I should have copy pasted it. They said something like, the man decided it was in his best interest, instead of using the facilities, that it was more of an option, something like that. They tried to make it all like sophisticated a little bit, and they're like, his best option was not to use the facilities; it was to urinate on the man. I gotta be honest, guys. Maybe you have a scenario. Let me know. Let me know on social media at DeHuff Podcast. If you're watching the video, let me know in the comments. When is a good idea to urinate on somebody else? Maybe if there's money involved. I guess that would be the case. But I just don't. I just can't think. Maybe if somebody's pants are on fire, okay, their shoes, something like that. Don't have access to a hose. Wink, wink. Maybe I do. No, I don't. Or there's no fire extinguisher nearby. So what do you got to do? Well, I just had a big gulp. There we go. Fire out. I'm an unsung hero. Do you think you would get an award for that? You know how they go and like award somebody for saving somebody's life, especially if you're a citizen and you're going above and beyond and helping somebody out. Somebody's on fire and you rush to action, and then like you and your buddy are like, you urinate on them to put the fire out. Do you think you'd win a civil award for that? Because that would be cool. It'd be really awkward though if you did that and it was you and say your girlfriend or your wife. because everybody'd be like, "That's fantastic." Then the clapping would slow down because then everybody'd be like really getting the visual of what happened. Be like, how did she not burn herself putting out the fire? Now you're thinking about it. Now you're thinking about it. Woo, woo. Why does it smell like burnt hair? Anyway, let's move on. Burnt hair. Oh my God. This makes sense. I don't know why they had to do a study on it because I could have told you this. Pooping is good for your brain. Using the toilet before mental tests improves performance, according to a new study. I got to be honest, guys, that makes perfect sense. So does using, go and pee. Before I do this show, I always go to the bathroom. Do you know why? So I'm not thinking about it. I want to be completely focused on what I got to do. So that tells you how it's bad now. Could you only imagine if I had to use the restroom the entire show? It'd be even more of a train wreck, this show. That makes a lot of sense, though. It says when preparing for a big test or athletic event, try taking a load off. Oink, oink. A new small study found that triathletes perform better on a cognitive test that simulates the experience of rapid decision making. Yeah, it does. You don't want to be focused on, am I going to pee my pants? Am I going to defecate in my pants? No, you want to be focused on the task at hand, whether that's an athletic event or, um, you know, a math test or whatever. You don't want to be bloated before a big run or you're playing a game. You don't want to do that. You got to go. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. But people, again, scientists, you are stealing money from universities by doing these tests. Hey, guys, did you know that you should go to the bathroom before you take a test so you're not focusing on that? What? Yep, I'll need another $60,000 for the next month. Thanks. Whatever it is. I don't know. I just made that number up. Don't know. Boy, this is going to alter my plans. A man was arrested for yelling profanities near a church in North Stonington, Connecticut, while wearing a bike helmet with a sex toy attached. Huh. Get that visual in your head. He's yelling horrible things. F this, F that. And then meanwhile, he's wearing a bike helmet with a floppy dildo on there. Police say that Mitchell, the man that did it, I didn't get his full name. Sorry. I don't think you need to be adding him on social media. You're like, hey, what'd you get? What'd you use? What kind of adhesive did you use on the dildo? Or was it just suction cup? Anyway, he was trying to recreate a German helmet that his grandfather wore during World War II. What? I'm sorry. That took me off guard. I forgot that was part of the story. Could you imagine you're in battle? I was never part of the military, but I know several people that were. And you guys are, it's got to be the scariest times of your life at moments, right? Could you imagine looking across the field or whatever, you're looking through your sniper scope or something like that, and you see some guy who's like a high-ranking official wearing a war helmet, a military helmet, and then he has a dildo on the end of it? That guy's the first one to go. Just saying. Just saying. Or do you blow the tip off just to send a message? My goodness. I posted that story on Twitter. Don wrote in, well, now I have to go buy a bike helmet. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Is that where you're headed later? You gonna get some glue? I already have the other things. I just need a bike helmet. My goodness gracious. That would be bizarre to see. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff. Nothing that weird. That's one where you can't reach for your phone fast enough because you can't wait for that to go viral. People need to see this. I have never wanted to see a picture so badly of a criminal event in my life. I've never wanted to see one so badly before until this moment. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, blow that up. Make that like your screensaver, the background, the wallpaper on your phone, whatever. Okay, that's going to be my Christmas card next year. What, Scott, is this you? No, it's not me. But it's fantastic. That is a great moment in this world's history, is a man walking around wearing a bike helmet, wearing a dildo attached to it because he says he's recreating a helmet that his grandfather wore during World War II. Huh? What? Fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Scott. You are welcome. You are so welcome. My goodness gracious. We're talking sports here in a second, but first, if you're running a business, maybe you need help with the back of the house. I get it. I get it. Running a business is tough. It is. Especially when, God, I can't even tell you much. There's a lot of headaches involved. But what you need is someone with experience and is trustworthy to help you out. You need the Kirkwall Group. They got over 30 years of experience. Richard and Kirkwall Group understands that you and your business deserve someone who's efficient, timely, accurate, cost-effective, focused on your success, and is working to save you money. Kirkwall Group can help you with your bookkeeping, accounting management services like, CFO, controller, accounting manager, projects and support, as well as tax planning and preparation, income, property tax, sales, and use tax. That's a lot of tax stuff, and I don't even know what half of it means, but they do. What you need to do, go to their website, kirkwallgroup.net. Again, kirkwallgroup.net. See everything they can do for you and your business. There's a lot. And he keeps it simple on the website too. Richard does. He doesn't want to make it all flashy. He's like, listen, here's what it is. Here's what we can help you with. And I got to be honest, one of the nicest dudes you'll ever talk to. He loves. I'll tell you this real quick. Side note. When I started talking with Richard last year about becoming a partner with this show, he was so giddy about the numbers. He's kind of a numbers nerd, and that's okay. That's what you want. But ultimately, the reason why I said, Richard, this is going to be a great partnership because I like what you stand for, is because he said he loves to help people. And that's what he does. So it's really cool. Definitely worth checking him out. Again, kirkwallgroup.net. And when you go on there, you can set up a free 30-minute consultation. Again, kirkwallgroup.net. Kirkwall Group, we count what counts for you. Speaking of counting what counts for you. Huh? Oh, let's do it. I don't know. That was a horrible transition. Seriously, I was forcing it. I feel so much shame right now. Let's jump into some sports.
Going deep, tight ends and long balls. No, it's not an invitation to a ditty party.
Oh, gross!
It's sports with the Huff.
Well, the big news around in Colorado, it kind of in sports in general, and I know a lot of people are upset because the Cincinnati Bengals didn't get into the playoffs. They feel that the Bengals were more deserving, but honestly, it is what it is. And as a Denver Bronco fan, guess what? I don't care. The Broncos are in. Fuck you, Cincinnati. Don't really give a rat's ass. I don't. The Broncos-Chiefs game is the Broncos won 38-0, but they beat Kansas City's second stringers. Okay. Here's the way I want to look at it, because all the Kansas City fans are like, oh, Denver should be just, they're going to be a first round exit, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I'll say about Kansas City. Did you guys forget what happened in week 10 when the Broncos were about to beat you, and then there was a last second, somebody pooped their pants on the Broncos offensive line and allowed a guy to get untouched and block a field goal. That doesn't happen. One guy does his job. Guess what happens? The Broncos beat you. Week 10. Don't act like you're this superior being, because you're not. There's a really good chance. Yes, I know the Chiefs, you get a first round bye. Congratulations. That's great. Good for you. There's a really good chance you're going to be one and done. Okay, I know you're saying that about the Broncos. The Broncos are all set to take on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. It's going to be a tough game. But you know what? I don't see why the Broncos can't go in there and whoop some ass. I honestly don't see why they can't. After the game, because Bo Nix, by the way, had a stellar game. I think he only missed like 3 passes, something crazy like that. He did well. He did very well. Very impressive. And gosh dang it, I am so proud that he's the Denver Broncos quarterback right now. Here's Bo Nix talking with CBS after the game.
What an incredible day. First time the Broncos are in the playoffs since 2015, and you're the first rookie quarterback to take them back there since John Elway. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to this team and this fan base?
Well, it means everything. You know, we've worked really hard for this. Quite honestly, opening the season, nobody expected us to do this, but, we didn't really listen to that. We just came out there and put a lot of games together, and we've lost a few tough ones, but we've also won some big ones. So this team deserves it.
89.7% completion percentage. You're almost perfect in that first half. How well are you seeing the field right now as you guys head to Buffalo?
Well, I saw it well today, but I'm kicking myself for not being 100. But it leaves some room for growth, and it allows you to keep going back for more. But I'm just excited about this team. I'm excited about what we've overcome, and we just played really good today.
You guys got it done on both sides of the ball. Now you're headed to Buffalo. Your early thoughts on that one and facing a tough team with Josh Allen?
Yeah, well, they're a really good football team. They've won a lot of games this year. Josh is obviously a really good player. He's had a really good season. But we're excited about the opportunity. It's playoff football time.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations. Enjoy this.
Thanks. Go Broncos.
Oh, I love that. Love that. A lot of good stuff in there. Listen, nobody believed in them other than Broncos country. Everybody is saying that they were going to be trash. How many people that said, well, actually, you know what? Zach Stevens of DNVR tweeted this out. This is what people were saying. The Broncos win total was set at 5.5. Pro Football Focus said they had the worst roster in the NFL. ESPN said they had the second worst roster in the NFL. They clinched a playoff spot and are 10-7.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Yeah, that's right, Betty White. Good tweet by Zach Stevens. Okay. Brandon Stokely said, Broncos are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2015. They did it with a rookie QB and a $53 million cap hit for cutting Russ. Remarkable. They had an arm tied behind their back, if you think about it. Listen, they could be one and done. They could be. Don't give a shit, really. The biggest hurdle they just jumped over. Wasn't easy, but they got there. Last second, they cleared it. Now, that being said, I would prefer they go into Buffalo and shock the world and beat the Bills. But that being said, the fact that as long as they don't get slaughtered, I guess in a weird way, I'd be somewhat okay with it. I'm not too fond of saying, well, at least we made the playoffs. Well, now that you're in the playoffs, it's like I want them to win. But Denver Broncos should be damn proud of themselves. They started off rough. They had a starting quarterback. There was a lot of people out there that were calling for Bo Nix to get benched. Do you guys remember that? I do. And it irritated the snot out of me because that is such a cliche thing for people to do. Oh, stumbled. He's a rookie. You know what? Let Stidham take over so he can see how it's done and Nix can get some more practice reps and all that nonsense. Look where the Broncos are at. Week 10, going back to week 10 when the Broncos first played the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes went over to Sean Payton and whispered to him. I don't know if he whispered, "Hello, Sean." I don't think he whispered like that because that would be weird. I think he just said, "You got a real one with him," in regards to Bo Nix. So that's a huge endorsement. And I think they do. You look at Jim Nantz and Tony Romo kept going back to it. The end of the Bengals game where the Broncos lost, but the Broncos fought back all the way through the entire game against the Chiefs. Bo Nix was red hot. The Denver Broncos got a real one in Bo Nix. There was a lot of people that were upset that the Broncos drafted Bo Nix, saying that it was a mistake. Do you guys still feel that way? Some of you? I don't. I was excited for it. Not to like sit there and, choke on my own dong, but listen, I'll try. I was excited for it. Everything I had heard, everything I'd seen, it made sense. And we're seeing that pay off. There were several people, my buddy included, that were very furious with Sean Payton. That being said, I think those were justified. Sean Payton made a lot of stupid mistakes this season, abandoning the run game out of the blue, stuff like that. I feel like the thing that sucks, it's kind of tainted. Going back to what I originally said at the beginning of the show, this win is somewhat tainted by the fact that the Broncos didn't take on the full strength Kansas City Chiefs. That's always going to be there. But that being said, it's a good confidence booster. It's a nut buster. That's what it is. You're going through a slump. You need some action. Be like, they're blue. I can hardly walk. Just take whatever you can get. It doesn't matter that it's the second string. They just popped all over the field. It was great. That's a great analogy. You should use that at work. At the copy machine. Hey. Yeah, so, it's just they just busted their nut all over the second string. It was great. It's fine. It'll help them going towards the next game in the wild card. Wild card. That sounds good. The Broncos are headed to the wild card.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
You know what I love about playing that soundbite is you can't play. I don't think I could play that when I worked at the radio station. Because maybe I did play it once and I was told I wasn't allowed to anymore.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
Love that. Love that. It's exciting. It's a very exciting moment for the Denver Broncos fan base. And if you don't know, the Broncos haven't been in the playoffs since they won the Super Bowl in the 2015 season. Super Bowl was played in 2016, but that's the last time they were in the playoffs. It's been a while. Talk about a drought. So, yeah, I don't care how they get their rocks off. They got them off, and they're headed to the postseason. That's fantastic. I'm very excited. And when you look at this Denver Broncos team, I'm sitting there after the game. I'm like, man, the Broncos have a lot of good pieces now. Sure, the run game isn't solid, but it looked pretty. By the way, did you see that run by Nix where he tried to lateral it to Javonte Williams. Oh my God. In his defense, he threw it because he was traveling with the ball, and since the way he released it, it was still traveling. It ended up moving forward because of the way moved from his hands. Like, I want Neil deGrasse Tyson, excuse me. I want him to take a look at that and be like, if he would have tossed it backwards, would it still have kind of traveled forward? I feel like there's some science that could be involved in that situation, Neil. Neil, take a look at it, okay? But that was a fun moment. The Broncos were having fun. And that was good to see, especially for the final game and the game that was pushing them into the playoffs. But going back to what the Broncos have, yes, the run game needs some work. I still believe the offensive line still needs some work, and that's going to help out the run game. But what they do have, they have a great quarterback in Bo Nix. It's only his rookie year, guys. Only his rookie year. What are we going to be looking at in 2 years? An insane quarterback. The Broncos have a great wide receiver in Cortland Sutton. They got a playmaker in Marvin Mims. Oh, my God, that guy's fun. That guy is fun to freaking watch. They got an amazing defense. And again, when you think about it, they have an arm tied behind their back because of all that money, like Brandon Stokely said, a $53 million cap hit for cutting Russell Wilson. What's this team going to look like in a year, 2 years from now? That's the AFC West, you're on notice. AFC in general, you're on notice. Hell, NFL, you're on notice. The Broncos are coming. Bo Nix is leading the way, and him and his crew of badasses are right there with him. Watch out. Wow. Yeah, so the Broncos, they did great. They did great. They did what we thought they would do against a second-string Chiefs team, okay? We talked about this last episode. We said the last thing you want this to be is a close game. Well, it sure as heck wasn't a close game. It wasn't. But here's the thing. Now you go up to Buffalo. You take on Josh Allen. You're going to take on Von Miller, okay? You're going to be battling those guys, those demons in Buffalo with Bills Mafia. It's a great environment. Go in there and win. Win one more game. Right now, all I want from the Broncos is to win one more game. That's it. Then we'll worry about the next one. Right now, one more game, Broncos. That was fun. By the way, something going back to the Chiefs. I know I got a few Chiefs fans that listen. God, they must like cringe every time I talk about the Broncos. They're like, "Oh, here we go, another Bronco guy sucking them off." A Chiefs stat is Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and a bunch of the other starters that they rested, those individuals who sat in Week 18 against the Broncos, they're going to have at least 24 days between games because they don't know if it's going to be on Saturday or a Sunday game that they end up playing. Listen, I'm not a former athlete, but I did work in sports radio for, well, now, it was 18 years in radio and then tack on 4 years. So it's been a while that I've been around it. That can have a negative effect on a team. So depending on who they play, the Chiefs might be lethargic. They might be a little bit of a space cadet. That's good. Good. Because I think most of the country, unless you're a Chiefs fan, you're kind of tired of the Chiefs. And I think this is the year where they can't afford it. Now, there's always the chance that that rest and relaxation is going to help them. That's a great possibility. I hope it's the opposite. I hope it is. Real quick, I wanted to get into this because it's kind of jumping up on YouTube. I posted that a snippet of me talking about that story, the alleged story of Shedeur Sanders renting out a strip club on December 25th and December 26th. Meanwhile, the Alamo Bowl was played on the 28th of December. And they allegedly rented it out, and the players were going in there. Nobody was allowed to bring cell phones, whether you worked there or you were a player, okay? Jason Whitlock is the one that originally broke that story. He has not backed down from that story. He's saying, according to his sources, that's what happened. Nobody has come out and denied it from the Sanders family camp. But here's what's driving me nuts. Some people get it. Some people do. I've had so many people on YouTube. You got to go check it out. Go follow me on YouTube at DeHuff Podcast. You'll see what I'm talking about. The amount of people that are like, you're spreading fake news. These are all lies. I'm like, I never said it was true. I'm saying allegedly, according to sources. I even make fun of the fact that, sources. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying according to a source. If this is true, it's a bad look. I'm confident that the majority of the people adding me, talking to me on this, don't know what the word allegedly means. They don't. That there's no documented truth in what is being reported. But this is what's being reported, so it's alleged. It drives me nuts, guys. I got to be honest. It's good because I'm getting, people, looking at my page and stuff like that. But it's also annoying because I'm afraid I'm going to lose followers because some people are just dumb and don't know what the hell I'm saying. There was even somebody on Twitter today. Again, I don't think some of these people are paying attention to what the words that are being said. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying this is what's the story. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? This is a bad thing about being in a spotlight. Thank God I'm not super famous. Yeah, this guy Brian said, CU played on the 28th. What would the 25th and 26th have to do with that? Laughy faces. That's a pretty silly take. This is what I responded back to him. It was prior to the game. The game they needed to focus on. I accidentally misspelled they. I forgot the H in the Y. The Y. What the fuck are you talking about, Brian? Talk about a dumb take. My goodness gracious. What a fucking moron you are, Brian. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. You are fucking stupid. Oh, wait. Here we go, guys. I clicked on his profile. Guess who he is? A Raiders fan. And LeBron James. There we go. Problem solved. Figured it out. The mystery has been solved, folks. He even says Oakland Raiders. Yeah, you must be a real big fan if you haven't realized they moved, bro. They moved. So annoying. So freaking annoying. It's alleged, and I said it. But what's crazy to me is, and I'm going to say this real quick, there's other people out there saying it, and they're not getting any, they're not getting attacked. And I don't know what the difference is, but it's annoying. So maybe it's just the way I presented it just really bugged the snot out of people. Here's the thing. It's alleged. But the fact that nobody's coming out disputing it, they're just letting it sit there. And the fact that Jason Whitlock, who a lot of people hate, and the fact that he's not coming out saying, you know what? I'm going to retract that. My sources were wrong or blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that. If then people are saying my account needs to be shut down and all this stuff, I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm like responding to everybody. And what's crazy is like only one person actually had a conversation with me. All the others is like, I said what I said, and then they're just like, I don't want to have a conversation. I thought I was just going to post this onto deaf ears. So annoying. So freaking annoying. I hope that story's false, is what I said too. I hope it's wrong. Because that would just bug me. But then at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to affect Shedeur moving forward. The thing that bugged me is if you found out that Dion knew anything about it, then that's going to be a major story. That's going to be a major problem, right? Then that's going to be a major issue. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm not thinking it is, but, playing devil's advocate on that. But it's just more disappointing than anything. It's also disappointing that so many people don't know what the word allegedly means. But not surprising. I got to be honest. You've walked down the hallway at your work. You're like, how in the hell is this person functioning? Jeez. That's what I feel like I'm talking to, guys. Really fucking annoying. By the way, real quick, let's see if I can pull this up. The Denver Broncos, after every game, send post-game notes. They literally just sent it to me. By the way, the Broncos finished with a 10-7 record. That's fantastic. Good for them. They haven't had a double-digit. The last time they played in the postseason was 2015, and they were 12-4. Let's see. Denver, most sacks, team sacks this year. 63 sacks. That's fantastic. No way. That's great. Yeah, this is what they wrote. The Broncos brought down the Chiefs quarterbacks for a total of 5 times in the game, increasing their season total to a franchise record of 63 quarterback takedowns. Entering the Sunday Night Football game, that was the most in the NFL this season and tied for the 12th most in NFL history. That's freaking cool. Way to go, Broncos. Their defense is special. Very special. That's a neat thing. Let's see. Cortland Sutton finished his second best season of his career. He did get that $500,000 bonus for getting a certain amount of yards. He finished with 1,081 yards. He had 8 touchdowns on the season. Remember, he had a game where he didn't touch the ball once. That's pretty phenomenal. See, Bo Nix, most passing TDs by a rookie in NFL history. Justin Herbert did it in 2020 with 31. Bo Nix did it this year with 29. So second. That's pretty freaking cool. That's good company. Good company. Baker Mayfield did it in 2018 with 27. Peyton Manning 1998 with 26. So really cool. Really cool. Most offensive touchdowns by a rookie in NFL history. Bo Nix is third behind Cam Newton and Justin Herbert. Herbert had 36. Cam had 35. Bo Nix 34. Guys, this is a player that a lot of people are like, I wish they wouldn't have drafted him. And then like a couple weeks in, they're like, he needs to take the bench. Put in Stidham. Put in Stidham. No. And then this is the cool one. This is the one they were talking about during the game. Highest completions percentage in team history. Prior to this game, Peyton Manning held the record at 89.3% completions. Bo Nix finished the game with 89.7. Dude. How cool. Very cool. Bo Nix, man, he is him. He is the guy. Very cool. Very cool. And there's a bunch of other miscellaneous things that I don't want to be. My unsung hero for the regular season for the Denver Broncos has to be the guy that I just didn't see coming, the Blindside Award. The guy that just totally was just like, whoa, yes, please, we'll have more of that. Marvin Mims Jr. Marvin Mims, you are the man. I cannot wait to see what else you can do in a Broncos uniform this postseason, next year, all that good stuff. And what's great is a lot of the guys on offense, even the running backs who are struggling, they're still exciting to watch. There's a lot of exciting players. The Nance and Romo were talking about Lil Jordan Humphrey and about like he might not catch a lot of balls, but he's a big dude that can block. And those are guys that you want. There's a lot of just it's almost like a blue collar team, this team. I like it. I like it a lot. They got grit. We'll see what happens next week as they take on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Really appreciate it. Go Broncos. If you're not a Bronco fan, sorry. I love them too much. But I will give you this.
These fingers are ready to tickle some pickles. Tickle, 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 tickle.
I like it. Oh, you know what? Sometimes you need to laugh. Am I right?
Right, as always.
Thanks, Ken. You got me. Thanks for supporting the show. Really do appreciate it, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the like button, wherever you're watching or listening. And big thanks to Kirkwall Group. Go to kirkwallgroup.net. Check them out. See what they can do for you and your small business. Also, check out Bet Online. And don't forget to use that promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV for your first-time usage deposit. Oh, I wonder if it's a swag bag. Swag bag or swag bag? I don't know. Either way. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Have a fantastic day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.